Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcasts. We are mourning the loss of our dear Christian Hubicki, gone at the hands of Jimmy Fallon.
That some bitch.
Oh my
And
God.
the sad part is I was having a lot of fun with this episode.
Yeah,
Um, I um I really enjoyed the episode, but when it was starting to gear towards him a little bit, before,
yeah,
he before that twist, because obviously we're
yeah.
gonna talk about the twist, but he was like, all right, he had this strategy and stuff. Like people were talking about getting rid of Christian this episode. So it wasn't
Mhm.
like, oh, we might as well. But
It sure
so it was
helped.
kind of,
It sure helped that case.
well, yeah, because he couldn't play his shot in the dark.
Yeah, couldn't
But
play the shot in the dark. But okay, so I'm just gonna go straight to the twist because I think it could have been fine had they had just let Christian not have to tell everyone and go back and like with the notes basically outright say because if you could have lied and socially maneuvered your way strategically as well, I think that this would have felt way better. But the fact that it like basically felt like they just said, "Screw you, whoever gets here, you're gonna let everyone know that you should be the target." I mean,
yeah,
if this happens, there's maybe like one or two people who could have been really fine had this happened, but almost anyone else, it really is kind of like it just brings your name up for literally no other reason sometimes than just
yeah.
like let's just take this easy person out.
Honestly, I think because I'm thinking who is that applicable into this cast? Probably Suri.
Suri. She could have survived this.
That's
That's like
and
it.
this is the woman who is known for going home because of bullshit twins.
Yeah, Suri, or if it's someone who has an idol who then can just be like, well, I guess I'm playing my idol because everyone's
Yeah,
gonna go for me. Those are like the options. Like, because I'm not against someone like having to vote themselves. I think that's a fine twist. It's just the fact that
yeah.
if he had won,
It was a
it would
public.
yeah, if he won, it would have been anonymously him putting a vote in and no one would know about it. It should have been the same vice versa when he loses, that no
I,
one knows that he's going to have to vote for himself.
I do agree. But before we get into it more, I want to bring up this. I talked to Joe before the
Not
show.
we're not doing this.
I inspired by Jeff Probst from this episode, so blame him because he put. I'm an impressionable young man. I will follow shit I see on TV. Uh, I wanted to do an endurance challenge during the podcast. So I want to, from this point on until we decide, to get into our outro. Actually, that's too broken because we both know that we will delay shit. Um, but we'll say an hour into recording. If I survive that much by doing our our famous challenge, the card against the wall thing with the ping pong ball.
See, the problem with this already is that when you have to like look this way, it fucks with the sound for you.
Do I have to bring the micro? This is a lot for Ryan
Yeah,
to
we're
do.
not doing. By the way, I'm saying no because he wants one of my draft picks if he does this, and I'm just not letting that happen.
Joe, you're no fun.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick?
All right. Uh, I would pick. So, Sari has a zero vote episode, so a goose egg in
Yeah.
one, which would tend to reason that she would not be the winner of this season.
Mhm.
So, Sari would be, if I could choose freely, yeah, I would probably choose her.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
However,
letting you get Suri.
but she has a goose, so it'd be either Sari or Ozzy. Those would be the two I would really go for. Because it just feels weird to go after Aubrey, seeing how that's your legit like first chosen winner pick.
Yeah. Um, fair enough. Not letting you have any of them. We're not proceeding with this.
You know what? I'm proceeding with it.
No, no.
I'm gonna do it.
Put it down. Put it down. We got things to talk about. We
I
gotta be
am,
mad.
but we're gonna
We,
do
we, we
this.
got to be mad about the injustice that has occurred in this episode.
My microphone's at my crotch right now. I can't.
Yeah, see, it's already wasting time here. This is not something we need to be doing right now. Look, you already failed. You already
I
failed. Oh my God. Oh, put it down. Ryan, put it down. Get it off the wall. We are not doing this. It is impossible.
improbable. Anyway, but yes. So Christian losing here was, or like, yeah, I do agree with you. It should have been, anonymous as well, because the whole thing with one in the urn was that they wouldn't know that there was an extra vote there. So in theory, it's better than an extra vote because you could still technically play your shot in the dark. You don't need to use the extra vote. You don't need to
By the way,
have your own vote.
I don't know why, but it sounds terrible with your mic right now. It sounds like you're a fishbowl.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It sounds not great. I think you should go back to whatever your normal setup is, so that way we can actually have like a productive conversation here.
Is this better?
No, like it does not sound great. I don't know what happened when you moved it.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
I think you lied to me to make sure that I would fall.
you can go back and listen. I am not lying to you in this moment. um,
The chaos gremlin.
I never lie. I'm known for never lying.
You're full of fucking shit.
I've never lied a single time ever. Okay, so I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, the advantage if Christian had even won was, I think it's worse than a regular extra vote because you have to cast it before you can even talk to anyone about who the vote's going to be on. So you're
I
just kind
mean,
of you're like you're hoping that your thoughts before you talk to anyone really about like when everything's going. You have to hope that that is the right votes.
yes. I do think like there are definitely ways to misplay it. Because like, sometimes and like the episode before was proof of that because like, Sari had her own idea over on like Exile, and when she came back, like
Mm-hmm.
she completely flipped the switch, and then it was Coach and Chrissy when it would have been Devins and Aubrey this last episode. Had it wouldn't have been for that. So like obviously things change as, plans start to get like talked about. However, if Christian knows his name is coming up, and if there was already a name that was already floating out there anyway, it wouldn't necessarily hurt to do be like, okay, I have a vote on Oz. Now, do I think Ozzy should have been the target for that plan? Maybe not because all right, I do have to find it a little imbalanced. Both Ozzy and Rizzo still have their idol, and Aubrey was forced to play hers.
Yeah, no, I was saying this earlier. I was like, I'd be pissed if I was Aubrey and you're forced to do it, and then you like no one else is saying let's go for one of these two or tell them that they got to play it now.
Again,
Yeah,
it's been two tribal councils afterwards, and still.
yeah, yeah. No, that's something. But I mean, I'm just going back to the extra vote. If Christian just gets an extra vote, that's just significantly more powerful than this one in an urn, whatever it was called. Because extra votes are still anonymous. Like that's not like one of the advantages. Like Jeff, I'm like to play my extra votes. Like people don't do that.
Yeah, so I see benefits of both. I feel like
And also, extra
what
vote
I
is like the weakest one. Yeah, like the weakest advantage in the game. So it's not even like a seriously strong thing, especially at final 11. I mean,
I
one
mean,
vote is
Weakest,
and
no,
and
I
it,
would say weakest advantage would be shot in the dark.
well, that can save you. Caleb is not going to go
It
around saying
can
it's the
save
shot.
you, but it's useless more
but
times than it's
but
useful.
everyone gets it. I'm saying when there are advantages where you're getting it and no one else in the game can have it, it is like the weakest one.
Yeah,
I I
basically.
I guess the reward steal is weaker, but that doesn't have any real gameplay mechanics. It's kind of like a
Yes
piss
and
people
no.
off kind of situation or so.
I mean, a Survivor, there's always strategy in anything and everything you do. However, yeah, so when that came up, that twist came up, I was like, all right, it's interesting. And then I'm like, wait, he can still play his shot in the dark. Because like that's one of the things you can always do. Plus, it's an anonymous vote. So it's like, yeah. Uh so what I when we saw him on the pontoon. I know we're very ahead of this, but like we just finished watching, well, I just finished watching this. Um, so like, and when it was a puzzle, I'm like, all right, this is in his wheelhouse. But the way his confessionals were going, I could
Yeah,
already tell he was already trying to hide not being irritated. And I was like, uh-oh,
yeah.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
And
I,
then like,
I really wish that we had just not been shown that people were thinking about going for Christian before this whole thing because it makes it feel worse. Like
yeah,
if we don't know that Christian's in danger and then this happens and then at least like then it be like ooh, but you're kind of like okay, well, something news happening, but we were shown other things that could still potentially be like the thing and instead they kind of like threw the Emily stuff in there, kind of like last minute a little bit, and it's like,
yeah.
that's not that wasn't going to stick. Like,
No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Suri has a lot of swaying power.
yeah,
And like, first, all right, we're going ahead of
yeah,
ourselves
no,
by a
we're going to
lot.
be all over the place because that's just how this episode made me feel.
No, but like, we have to rewind a little bit. Because at the beginning of this episode, you know, it's weird how some people are being labeled as in the middle when it's really just a Mexican standoff between these different alliances, where it's like, all right, who's going to shoot who first? Who's going to shoot this? Because there's like three alliances basically going on, and then there's like, and I would say like the only person that's kind of like loosey goosey in between everyone is probably Tiffany, because like Tiff doesn't really have like, well, she's getting along with like Joe and stuff, so that could be her in, but they haven't like in the confessionals and stuff saying like, yes, Tiff is with us. They haven't said that yet. Anyone from we'll call them the jocks, the popular kids, which is the Wizard of Oz, Cerise Wizard of Oz, and then the nerds, which is self-explanatory.
Yeah, the
So
the
you got
ones that look like they're nerds. That's
yeah,
basically it.
the jocks, popular kids, and nerds.
Yeah.
This is how I have officially labeled these two factions. So
We're
there
really in
is
high
no
school.
necessary, yes, a professional high school student here. I yes, I play high school all the time. Anyway, uh, so like you have these like there is no real middle because like if the popular or if the jocks are in the middle, and that means the nerds are fighting against someone. And I don't think that people are privy to Suri. Well, they're not privy to Suri and Ozzy being close.
Yeah,
And I don't
clearly.
even think Rizzo either, because they keep going to Suri and be like, you know what? We need to take out Rizzo. You know what? We need to take out Ozzy.
Yeah, I mean,
And they keep
everyone thinks they're Cerie's best friend out there. Like that's just how the season's going. She has a zero conventional episode. I still think she's very much in winter contention. I feel like this episode was and last week's episode are just very much in like the mindset and the point of view of Suri in a lot of situations. Um, so yeah, I mean she's playing a matchful game yet again, showing why she is one of the GOATs, Hall of Fame
Yes.
Survivor player.
I mean, yeah, we knew as soon as she was cast, like she was gonna make it deep in this game. She's gonna
Mhm.
give it her all because she's like this is her fifth time in American Survivor, sixth time over or wait, sixth time overall, yeah.
Yeah,
I was also thinking, well, wait, but Trader, but it was like, and Big Brother, like
she's done a
she's an
lot.
icon in reality competition shows,
And
period.
she always makes it far except for Heroes versus Villains when she got idled out by Tom Westman. And they didn't even really want to do that. It was just Tom Westman was like, we gotta get Suri, you know? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So we've now, like, so like Suri just has so much, and the thing is, it's like it's tough because like you're saying you get to play with Survivor and then you want to be Suri. I mean, I think everyone wants to live that fantasy of working with Suri
Mhm.
because it's like, oh, I got to get in good with Suri because everyone, like Suri is the most liked player, like of all time, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, and we're really seeing that she is a master of using information to get what she wants. Because if you come to her with something and you are not, and you're proposing someone that she's closer to than you, it is instantly going to be used and leveraged against you in a very dangerous way.
yeah, like when Christian was like going up to her about like targeting Ozzy, it wasn't it wasn't even a thing of like it was like not even like 5 seconds later. And I
Yeah.
know like edit played a factor into that, but like he was like nearby when they were having this conversation and Christian went off and then Ozzy immediately got into the hammock and then yeah.
Yeah, and if Christian just didn't say that about Ozzy, I mean, maybe he could have survived, but also I still think that Jimmy Fallon would have been dangerous for someone like Christian to get. So,
Well, the funny thing is it's because they knew they had to take someone from the Nerd Alliance. And and I will give props to Aubrey because she was trying to distance herself from it, or at the very least, she's trying to target, one of the jocks. This time we got Jonathan. But all the heat was on Devins for, like
mhm.
going up and getting his fake idol. Which most people believe, I will say, because I follow Stephanie on social media. I might be friends with her on Facebook. Uh, it's weird with the follow, but also friend. I don't know, but um, she did mention was like, yeah, I didn't believe it for a second. And I think the reason she was whispering around was because like, come on, like that can't be real.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's it's one of those things where Devin had heat on him, and they even had a whole thing of like, well, if it was, like, and Joe is saying this, and Joe, like this season hasn't been painted in the best light. But Joe was like, well, I mean, like, even if it's, like, even if he plays it right now, it's like, I can't go forward with that. That's nuts. That crazy. That's sporadic. He didn't even do it he did it the most flashy way possible.
Mhm.
So, like, and even Devins was like, that may have been the most fun I ever had at tribal council, but now I know I'm in a pickle because, like, now everyone knows I have this idol, quote unquote.
Yeah, and you got to act like you're playing it, but obviously he does not have. So at some point, I mean, it's just gonna bite him in the butt. He is a
Yeah.
ticking time bomb right now in this game, um, where
He,
it's just a matter of time.
well, all right. I think you can probably speak best to his game because he's the person you've decided to model all your org games after.
And then, yeah,
But
he is the original Chaos Gremlin.
he is, he is. Uh, so like when he's doing that. and when he was like, I was trying to play it down this season, but you know what? It's just too damn fun.
You gotta have fun out there, Devin. So I'm down with it. Give us more idle shenanigans.
Also, we're less than, I think it was like it ended at day 18. So we have less than 10 days left in this game. No one's trying to find the merge idol.
Yeah, it is very baffling. I'm
Not even,
assuming that this auction, which it looks like it's happening next week with Mr. Beast stuff and all that stuff. Um, I'm assuming there's going to be an idol through it or something because that's what happened with Rachel in 47.
well, it's interesting because with the auction, and they give a little bit of a tease. We know this is finally where we see Mr. Beast,
Mhm.
but they did mention that the briefcase he has, I forget the exact wording, but it's not just a beware advantage. It's like a super beware advantage,
Yeah,
which means even higher risk.
yeah,
Or, I mean, this episode introduced people voting them out, and we know Mr. Beast because we've either watched some of his like reality or his competition things he does on YouTube, and we've watched Beast games, or at least watched season one of Beast games. I've watched all of season two,
Mhm.
but
It's looking
the,
scary.
it's one of those things where I can see someone being auto eliminated if they're not able to do a certain thing. Because that's one thing that
Yeah,
Mr. Beast, I don't know, like it's good. Mr. Beast knows how to make like very entertaining moments and stuff,
yeah.
but as a game player, sometimes it infuriates the hell out of me.
Yeah, especially with like we have the coin situation, which is very likely. Like if you're flipping
It was
and
hinted at
yeah,
in the trailer.
yeah. So if there's a 50-50 chance that someone goes home. I mean, like I was very against the do or not die twist, and it's kind of it feels like it might be similar to a do or die kind of situation. Maybe you get something obviously if you get it right, but like still, I'm just not very into people going home without going to tribal council and getting voted out.
I'm iffy about it. I mean, it's part of the game if that's what they decide. The thing is, and we had this discussion last week about what's a fair elimination or not, or
Mhm.
what's a fair twist. Uh, what did that poll ended up being like? I legit don't know right now.
Okay, so interestingly, it did end up going into being more positive on it. And
Yay.
actually, you know how Jeff Probst was saying 63% of the fans voted for this. The numbers were 62% more positive on it.
So the thing is, it's like,
It was 50-50 for like most of the time though.
why would you use this gesture? That's
Six,
6-7.
seven.
That's
Yeah.
not 50-50,
Yeah.
like 63, 62.
this
Get with the
this this
times,
this
Joe.
used to be 50-50.
Such an old man.
I hate this new culture on the internet. It's so terrible.
It has its moments anyway. But all right, so what were we even so like this so like Mr. Beast have come up with what I would consider some, I wouldn't say they're unfair, but there are some situations where your fate is straight up just not in your hands. And that's a little bit unfair. Uh like what is it? Well, no, I think probably the most unfair thing I've ever seen on reality competition show is the opening thing for Squid Game season two, where it's like,
Yeah,
hey, we're just gonna eliminate half the cast. And a lot of you can't really even do anything about it
yeah,
because there's only really one person that can press the button,
yeah,
and then there might be some people able to help. But realistically, not all 250 of you are going to say something or do something. So
yeah.
sorry, not sorry, you gone.
Yeah, I mean that was a terrible twist. And the only reason they did it is that they needed to get less people because I think that show and Beast Games realized that smaller casts are better because you can focus on more people. So they quickly tried to eliminate as many people as possible in the opening
I will say
segments.
it did leave with. eh, I will say with Beast Game Season 2, they improved they improved a little bit on following people.
Mhm.
However, when most of your cast is gone and it's only the first three episodes and you're down to like 20-ish people left, you get some nothing burger episodes where not much is really happening. And then also, if you're going to follow people, make sure you give someone a winning edit because the
Mhm.
person that wins this season was like the most random person. And as they were dwindling it smaller and smaller, I'm like, well, it can't be him. They gave him like, I don't really think anything. And then he ended up winning. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, the guy who won season one, I could tell that he was going to win actually pretty early on. Even though that there was a lot of people, they kept focusing on him in like ways where they're like, "Man, you could win." Like someone literally said, "Man, you could win this game randomly," and then they cut away, and it's like, why would they show that random little clip about that? So I don't know. I haven't seen season two. I've only seen the Survivor episode, so I can't really comment about anything
But no,
else.
no, no. But yeah, so we're gonna see Jimmy next week.
Yeah,
Um
different Jimmy than Jimmy Fallon.
Not, yeah, it's just like back to back Jimmys.
Yeah, the season's getting jimmied.
Uh,
Oh,
but so yeah. So when we're going about this, you have these three different clicks, and then someone wants to be Froggy and makes a move, and then Christian is like try in an attempts to try and save Devons. He tries to go and like, and this is the thing. It's like always try and make allies, don't necessarily make targets,
mhm.
especially when you're approaching, because especially when you're deeper into the game like we are, there are set alliances.
Yeah.
Like you can't go up to Sari and be like, well, I know she's not, I know we're working together. It's like we're working together, but like I wouldn't say she's my inner circle. If they're not in your inner circle, it's like they could have other alliances that
Yeah.
you are not privy to.
Yeah. Also, I mean, just you don't really want to go throwing people's names out before an immunity challenge, before the scrambling really
Yeah.
happens. Because when you just say
Yeah.
that and there's time, because there's a lot of time on Survivor where you're just kind of not doing anything. Uh,
And
that's
things spread.
that's the time when things spread. Things might not spread when like a vote's kind of getting formed or something, and it's kind of like we got to keep things a little more locked tight because you're afraid of maybe hurting an ally at that time. Like Suri might have been a little more like if something else is going on, like I don't want to screw Christian yet because he's supposed to be helping me with this other plan. But when you do it before, now Christian can become that other plan that Suri's going to be looking at.
Exactly. Like Aubrey was very smart of how she went about it. She was like,
Mhm.
like she didn't even target one of the nerds. She was like, listen, I want to work with people that are different than me.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, that's good. That gives them something to work with.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I mean, it looks like she's building some kind of relationship with Jonathan.
yes.
So always good. Big episode for Jonathan too.
Oh, well, I mean, like, one of the things when Christian realized he was starting to get some heat on him, he was like, he went up to Jonathan and was like, basically doing what worked in the past. It was like, I'll offer you my shot in the dark to kind of make you feel a little safe.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, because we haven't seen people willingly give their shot in the dark and get voted out without it yet.
Mhm.
And I emphasize yet because it
Still,
technically happens this episode.
yeah, but it gets given back. I mean, also you can't even
After the
yeah
he
after
can't even use it.
Yeah, he can't use it. Jonathan can't use like no one like it's dead. So
Yeah.
I
So
think
like
if I was Jonathan, I keep that, and if I make it to final tribal council, I'm whipping that thing out.
no, I think I feel like giving it back to him is weird. Be honest, I wouldn't have taken it because like now you just kind of it was a little
Mhm.
out of place just giving it back to him.
Yeah,
It was just kind of weird. It was like
it was a weird moment.
yeah, and then like we didn't really even get to see Christian's interaction with it. It just kind of cut to him placing his torch in the little slot and then Jeff snuffing it.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. I mean, I think Jonathan
so
is definitely going to be having a lot of enemies on this cast at some point. So because D clearly does not like him. Christian, I think, is going to feel very betrayed or like just salty about this whole situation with
I
Jonathan.
mean I feel like this was just very, very salty for him in general. He was like,
Yeah,
I feel really fucked over. Like,
yeah,
like Jeff was even like, your delivery is funny, but I'm sensing some hostility, my dude. And then he's like, like no cap, fuck yeah,
yeah,
right on God.
yeah.
Sorry, I had to include some more Gen Z lingo into just the fuck with Joe.
Yeah. Also, I just want to let you know, Esteban, who was on this podcast, he texted me that he was so fucking mad because he's very not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the thing is, Christian is like Brad, my buddy Brad that he was on Vanquish. He did Fans
Mhm.
vs. Favorites 4, who he also got out at 11th place. Uh but like he and I play D&D well with each other. That's how we met.
Mhm.
And he messaged me and was like, "Oop." I was like, I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I knew he was gonna win, but like, still, that sucked to go. Christian is very beloved, and so him going out, it just was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Great TV.
if I,
Also, one of the few people who has a confessional in every episode. So yet again, we have tipped another person off the box there.
yeah, yeah,
Just getting
uh,
that winner a little more narrower.
yeah. Um, Rizgot's still in it.
Rizgod is still in it, along with Aubrey, Emily, and Ozzy.
Rizgot.
I mean, he's got a chance. He is in my top three winner contention right now.
You've done nothing but shit on him,
No, no,
Joe.
no. I think he can't win, but I do think that based off the edit, there's only four people who really I should be saying. Cerie's up there too, but I still have to kind of put her below. And I think he's got a better chance than Emily. So
I would say that, especially because Emily is starting, like, all right, first off, I was a little surprised that Emily kept Devin's secret because she's known for spreading shit around.
I thought we were going to get an immediate cut to her telling people that it was fake.
I mean, there's always next episode,
Yeah.
but as soon as, but like, like she started annoying Sari about the rice, and everything that, and, like, I feel like, with Emily, it was like, well, she keeps doing certain things, but they're like, oh, there's bigger fish to fry. Eventually, either A, the big fish are all just going to start working together. 'Cause there's still plenty of big fish, but we're seeing like some of them being like, we're not going to target you. We're going to target people that are outside of our clique.
Mhm.
Uh, like I feel like her days might be numbered because
Yeah.
it's like if she could just be straight up the one person where it's like everyone can agree on just so they can move forward a little bit more.
Yeah. I think what we might see next week is a split vote plan on Rick and Emily. And that's when Emily says, no, 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 that's fake. And then all the votes are just going to dump on Rick. I think that's what's going to happen. That would, and I don't want that to happen. I hope Mr. Beast gives us some shenanigans that makes something change because I don't want Rick going
Now,
home.
do you think uh it's it's crazy because I know we're talking about next episode, but
Yeah.
it's something where talking about Rick Devens, I think out of the people that are left, he is the most likely person to go for it.
I do too,
I
which
think
scares me. Yeah,
I think the only other person that might that I can think of is Riz God.
I
But
don't I
Riz
don't think he
God
will.
also is in a really good spot in the game, so I don't see him compromising that.
Yeah, no, I think he cares about this too much, and I think he probably, I think he is in the market of he has watched Mr. Beast and Beast games and knows about some of the risk in taking a Mr. Beast situation.
Yes.
So I think he won't. I can easily see Devins being the only person to raise his hand or put money up, whatever it is. Um, and just
Yeah.
betting all. I mean, he literally was telling in the next time on Survivor, him and Emily, that they're the two psychopaths, and that he's willing to do anything to blow up this game, to blow up this
Wh-
tribe.
Which is funny because we got to get to the challenge because this challenge, I had a huge smile on my face the entire time. One of my favorite quotes, and this might be my favorite Aubrey quote of all time, is Jeff is like, how are you reeling that up? And he's like, because I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
I was dying. I'm like, Aubrey, you shut up.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I take it back all the stuff I said about your edit this season.
Yeah.
Just
That made up for your beef with Genevieve.
I wouldn't go for
No,
but at the very least,
yeah, and I will say, because we've talked so much about the Jimmy Fallon twist. This was another twist that they had in this immunity challenge with Jeff Probst doing and being in it, and I was totally fine with this. I thought this
I
was like,
thought it was fun. It
yeah,
was like straight up like it was also for reward, like it didn't
yeah,
hinder anyone's immunity or anything.
yeah.
It was just fun.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
want to see this every season. I think this should just be contained in this season. But
I agree. I agree.
yeah,
But I had a big smile on my face because Jeff, and we did see it in the trailer, but we didn't know context or anything.
yeah,
But we were like as we were watching it, and then the whole thing about earning rice, and Jeff was toying with it. He was like, "Yeah, usually I take out my knife and I stab it like it's, like I'm in, prison and let it
yeah,
bleed out." And we even see, here's what I really appreciate about it. He's like straight up like, "All right, five of you go against me, and if I beat one of you, you guys don't get any rice." He was willing, and Jeff
yeah,
in New Era Survivor, rarely does he compromise. He has to
mhm,
find something where it's like, wait a minute, this is actually worse for you. Like the whole shot in the dark thing in 47.
uh,
But he was like, he really wanted to play, and he's like, all right, we'll do
we'll do
four.
four.
Even
Yeah,
though it was like, and those four were obviously it
yeah,
was going to be Ozzy, Jonathan, and Joe, no question. And then I was like, well, there's also a lot of athletic people there. Like, I was like, I know she has a frozen shoulder, but I'm pretty sure, uh, Stephanie would probably do it. And there were talks of it. And then
mhm,
Tiffany also did well in the challenge. So I could see that. I know like certain people, I knew like Sari wasn't going to volunteer. I know
yeah.
Rizzo or, you know,
Yeah, Devins. I
uh,
mean, he literally was like,
Evans.
I
He
weigh
was
two
like,
hundred pounds. Like, I'm not, I'm not dealing with that.
yeah, it's like,
He
that's
probably
not,
did have one of the higher ones in terms of weight that he had to deal with. So
yeah. It was and then Christian, while wanting to compete against Jeff, is like he understands like Jeff does have an advantage in the sense of like he's been eating. He's, you know, like not tired.
Mhm,
He sleeps in an actual bed.
mhm.
Um, I don't know what he does out there, but I'm pretty sure he works out as well just to kind of maintain his physique.
Yeah, but
So
he's
like
also in his 60s.
he did
So
mention that. He said,
yeah,
I'm older than all of you. Just
yeah,
like that's also fair.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
up against Joe, who almost who was seconds away from the record. And I it was funny during this challenge because Joe was doing what David did a little bit, where he was just like flexing,
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I learned how to do this.
which still one of my favorite moments during this challenge is when David like fakes out a little bit
Yeah,
just to mess with the rest of the cast.
yeah. Uh,
uh but it was just fun. And then like it's him concentrating on the challenge but also trying to host, and then he's like, all right, we'll get Rick Devens to do it.
yeah, yeah. So someone's got to drop, and then no one kind of did, and until Riz God, he and then he tried to kind of host for a
Yeah.
second,
And then uh what got me was the montage of all the shit that
Yeah,
Jeff has, and
yeah,
we saw throughout the entirety of the show different times.
yeah.
It
I
was
was
like,
surprised that they included the one where he's like called him a bitch, basically. You know,
yes. I was like, I mean, funny, yes. It was like
it's a great
a,
soundbite.
a, appropriate for the time, also, yes.
Yes,
It's a little wishy-washy now whether or not that's still okay
I
to
would
say.
take that if Jeff started saying that in every season. I would be so down.
But, it was that, and then like everyone was giving him shit for all the things. And then Jeff was like, I deserve this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I spent 26 years making jokes about people not doing well in challenges. This is my this is uh this is what has been the I am now reaping what I sow.
yeah, and he only did 7.5 minutes, and he was just kind of like, man, I would make fun of people who do 7.5 minutes.
Yeah. So you see, don't make fun of people when you're not in their shoes.
No, I keep doing it because it's funny. I mean, we got a whole sound bites of hilarious things Jeff Probst was saying. I'll take that
Yeah.
every day.
But no, it was just like I had a blast watching that portion of it. And then like, when Jeff dropped and everything, it was back to usual.
Yeah,
And then Joe won. And then as I was watching it, it was down to like Joe and Ozzy. I'm like, Joe has this in the bag. Ozzy is
yeah,
like one turn away from losing. So I was like, all right, when's it gonna happen?
yeah,
And then Joe gets the when he wins immunity, he's the one that gets to decide who goes to on a journey. Which was interesting because he was like, who wants it? All right, rock, paper, scissors for it. Which
yeah.
I think was actually smart on his end because that way it's like he doesn't have any blood
Yeah,
on his
but
hands, basically.
also, I mean, you do send Christian who could have gotten something here. Now obviously it didn't work out in that situation, but in Joe's like, if you're put yourself in Joe's shoes with just the knowledge that Joe has, you do not want to send Christian, Devins, Emily, or Aubrey onto this journey because, like, what if it was a knowledge is power? Because then immediately Christian can be like, "Hey, Ozzy, let me steal that. Let me take that because everyone knows about it."
The only reason why knowledge is power, I don't think is in this season as all, is because specifically how the boomerang idols were set up to function.
Potentially, but I'm just saying that there's like other things that could have potentially this he could have got a temporary
Yeah,
item. There's ways that this could have easily backfired on Joe and his allies
I
by
agree.
sending Christian here.
It's like, and I know sometimes people send and like hope that they lose it, but it's always better. They should have got someone a bit more neutral, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, obviously he was probably hoping an Aussie ends up winning, or like winning the rock paper scissors and going. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the rock paper scissors kind of situation there, just because it potentially could have backfired. Yet again, if you look at results based analysis, it worked out. It was
yeah.
fine.
Well,
It was good.
the thing is, like, they said Journey, because I was like, when they said Jimmy Fallon, I was like, well, that doesn't quite mesh with what, Christian was like saying in that one soundbite in the trailer.
Mhm.
So I'm like, there's got to be a little bit something more. And when they said Journey, well, I'm like, it's most likely going to be Christian, unless he's being like, like there is plausible deniability that someone else is like saying, or someone is, like going to use the advantage to kind of like either help or hinder Christian. And then he's like, Jimmy Fallon might, decide my fate in the game. Um, but I was about like 90% sure that he was going to go on this journey.
Yeah, I mean, it was yeah, pretty much very obvious, especially I mean, yeah, who else would have been saying, "Oh, Jimmy Fallon's got my hands, and my fate is in his hands." If someone else had gone, like, why would Christian say that? It just wouldn't make sense. So so yeah, obviously, I mean, we've already talked about a lot of what's ends up happening here with Christian going on to the journey, failing the puzzle.
I will say I liked how he kind of knew that he was screwed. And so they, like he made sure to include more to his son Michael. Like it
Mhm.
was like, it's like, like it's what you do afterwards. And, like picking himself up and then going on the boat. Granted, he very much was like annoyed with everything. But
Uh-huh.
like he was like, even if you're annoyed, you still go through and you still try and make the best out of the situation.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and then even like his final words to the camera was like, I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed watching me play and everything. And it was touching.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it. I mean, this season's lost coach, it's lost Christian now. I mean, it's we're losing entertainment. If we lose Devins next week, I mean, come on.
It's yeah.
We start
The thing
entering
is,
game changer boot order at a certain points.
I mean, we're getting close to the finale, so it's like unfortunately a lot of these big characters are also big players as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the thing is, it's like if we're looking at the board state right now of like who's left in this game and which clicks are kind of like obviously Cerise Wizard of Oz is really in control. And the thing is, even unbeknownst to Christian, even started to pick up on it. That was like Ozzy's really in the middle of everything. Um, but it was one of those things where he knew it, he just didn't know the full picture. His hunch
Yeah.
was right,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. Well, what really prevented that from ever happening is that he had the honor and integrity people who were still in the game were done like they wanted the nerds like what they considered the middle to be losing people. And Ozzy is in the middle with Suri and Rizzo. There's just no numbers that could ever turn on Ozzy in this situation because there's just so many people who were like, well, we gotta lose a nerd person next because we just lost two people from honor and integrity. So
yeah,
we gotta even
maybe
it. We have to even the numbers.
maybe Christian was, sometimes it is wistful thinking that kind of like guides you where it's like, well, yeah, maybe if I wake enough people up on the whole Ozzy thing, it could be a good strike. Another thing that was kind of like maybe don't go after Ozzy. He still has that idol. I mean, like keep him in mind as a target, but at the same time, don't make him your main target because
Mhm.
like if he really feels like the numbers aren't with him, he'll use the idol.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Man, I wonder how long Ozzy and Rizzo can keep these idols. I mean, we know Rizzo loves holding his idols. He loves keeping them around. And now with Ozzy in the middle with Rizzo, maybe Rizzo's going to teach Ozzy the ways of holding on to an idol.
I mean, Ozzy famously did hold on to an idol.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, not that
yeah,
long though,
his
because he got voted out with it. So very,
exactly.
very early on.
So holding on to it successfully.
Yes.
Um, which I mean they are doing. It's just it's one of those tough things where it's like you can't help but notice it's weird. I don't know if it'll come up or it's just not been shown that Aubrey, like because of, like Aubrey's probably pissed. We're just not seeing it. Or at the very
Uh,
least, she's not letting the emotions and stuff guide her judgment.
mhm,
In the sense of like, well, it's best not to piss off the two people with idols right now and having them try and flush it.
mhm.
But it like the day is coming soon. They have what, five for this one it ends at 6, correct? Or 5.
I think it's Final Five.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you still the closer we get to there, if you guys just don't touch them at all, that's potentially 3 slots that are locked and cannot be when like that's 3 people that are immune at final tribal council. And you could be like, well, what if one of them wins and then the thing can't? Thing is, they can give it to someone else. Ozzy, if he wins immunity, can give it to Sari and then play his own idol. And then whoever the other two are, they're kind of like, well, it's whatever the other 3 decide, basically, who's
Maybe
going
I'm
home.
wrong, but I think when they got it, they said it was that they could only play it for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can give but I'm saying in this final 5 scenario,
Mhm.
you can only play for yourself, yes.
Yeah.
But if you win individual immunity, you can still give individual
Yeah.
immunity
True.
to whomever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just never see
It's
that anymore except for Final Four fire making. That's the only time. In fact, even
exactly
even Jeff doesn't even like he used to ask the person who won immunity, would you like to give that or whatever? And they just don't do that.
because other than that final 4 scenario, there's only 3 people in history that have done it.
Yeah.
And only one of them won, but that's a huge like asterisk because that was very early on in the game,
Yeah.
season 6, where like, and I think like Jenna knew it wasn't her anyway, so like she felt good to just give it away.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're just gonna phase that out because it's typically a bad move to do that.
The
There's
only
worlds that it can work, but yeah,
yeah, the world is either A, you're feeling really cocky, B, you have a super idol that you want to burn, or just an idol in general, or you're planning to use safety without power, but why would you use that if you have immunity? That just even if
yeah.
well, I guess if it expires, but then again, you can usually play that on someone
And I
else,
think if you were safe, you'd rather you be able to vote in that tribal
having to vote
council.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, but that's the thing. So I'm like just kind of like going through in my head the
Mhm.
different scenarios of why you would. Or
Yeah.
if you straight up just want a homie drop and like be like, you know what, it's my time to go, which is kind of like just quitting in a sense. But so
Yeah.
like yeah, there's a reason why in all the years of Survivor, we've only seen it done 3 times,
Yeah,
apart from Final Four fire making.
yeah. Okay, back onto this episode. What honestly, what else can we really talk? I feel like we bumped around so much where we kind of already talked about a lot
Yeah,
of the juicy stuff, like after and what all proceeded. In terms of what went down with Christian here. Um,
yeah. Like I think the Christian thing where it was like, oh, it's your own vote. I was like, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, that's brutal because it's
yeah,
like that's a guaranteed vote against you. That's
and yeah.
obviously that's like infinitely worse than just losing your vote.
Just losing your vote, or just a vote is guaranteed cast against you, and but you still get
Yes,
your own votes. Um,
yes. So it's like, oh no, it's not a nail in the coffin, but it's putting on the lid.
it sure felt like it when I was watching. I was like already thinking like, ooh, this is not good look for Christian this episode, and this happened, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's a doozy. And then when he had to go back, and it was like, okay, so he's just got to read this thing. Maybe something else will happen here. And then it's just letting everyone know that you got to vote your own self, and everyone gets to know about it. And now suddenly it's just like, well, I mean, why are we not doing this? Like that was Rizzo's pitch, and it,
Yeah,
it basically worked. It was, why are we not taking the shot now?
yeah. I mean, like, I will say the only positive is usually they're going to ask you what happened. And unless you're telling people what your advantage is, more often or not, they're just going to be like, yeah. More often or not, they're going to want some, like, like saying that you lost your vote is kind of like the only thing you can tell them without putting too much suspicion on you. But then again,
Yeah,
kind of want to tell people you have a vote. And then, so like, at least the
yeah.
note is, it's like, it gives you some like liability that this is like legit, especially since it is a newer twist as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. Hopefully, we never see this twist, or they at least change it and make it not what it was this season.
I do hope next time that it is private because I'm like
Yeah, because
yeah, that was
I'm not opposed to you having to vote your own self. I'm just opposed of like taking away the ability to maneuver and lie about it. Like I like there's some advantages now, like knowledge power is like you can't lie. And now this is another thing where it was like they just straight up being like, nope, you can't lie about this journey. Everyone's going to know exactly what happened, and it's not good for you.
no, I mean like that specifically, yeah. I feel like knowledge is power in order for it to work. It's like, well, how am I supposed to,
Well, yeah,
like
yeah,
no one's
I know.
willingly going to give you the advantage. So it's like in that moment you have to kind of,
Yeah,
but like for
I
this
would,
one,
I would prefer it honestly if you say I wanted to play. Can I take your thing? And then Jeff has to be just the one that just straight up like says yes or no.
semantics, but
Yeah,
I digress.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying
Um,
is that lying has been a core feature of Survivor since the beginning. And now, when you kind of like are making a twist where you are removing that ability to come up with a lie and come up with your own way to maneuver a twist, that's a mistake.
uh, for knowledge and power, because we've talked about
I'm talking. I'm going off knowledge now. We're talking about this twist.
yeah, this one it does kind of give a bit of a dead man walking kind of feeling where it's just kind of like yeah, and then it's
Yeah,
like you can strategize, but there's still a vote against you no matter what.
yeah,
Legit, even if there wasn't, there is also a world where let's say everyone just wanted a person out. Let's say they all wanted Zelensky out. And, you know, like this is Survivor 100. Yes, Zelensky came back
No,
for that
no,
as a
Survivor several to several.
several several. He comes back for several several. And they're like, all right, well, uh, all right. So Rizzo has one vote against him because he did that. Well, we might as well take. Oh God, if Rizzo and Zelensky were on the same season, uh,
The internet would
I don't think
explode.
the world is prepared for that.
Yeah.
But um, so he, you know, like let's say everyone wants to vote out Zelensky. Rizzo has that one vote against him no matter what. But everyone wants to work with Rizzo. He's good. And let's say Jelensky has an idol. He plays it, Rizzo's gone because he
Mhm.
has that
Yeah.
one vote that nothing can change.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan of this Jimmy Fallon. I'm sure he's gonna be tossing and turning at the at what he
He
has
was like,
caused.
I didn't think that it would take out Christian. Like, I don't know. I thought it would be funny. And I wanted to make Survivor history, but unfortunately, it took out someone that I really enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get death threats in the mail now,
Yeah, yeah,
more so than usual.
yeah. I can't imagine the Survivor community is very thrilled with this twist because of who went home.
He started to be like, oh my.
Yeah, I mean,
No, he was gonna make this segment out of it. It was like death threats I got on X/Twitter.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it wasn't good. I mean, but the thing is, I bet you, I mean, Jimmy Fallon has been known to be a little more like, here's my idea to Jeff Probst. There's also a very real world where he was just like Billie Eilish, given a few different ideas for twists, and Jimmy Fallon chose this one.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, Jimmy Fallon is an established fan, whereas
Yeah,
Billie Eilish, I don't know. It could be to promote her IMAX concert with
yeah,
Steven Spielberg. This is a
yeah.
real thing, by the way. Not that I have anything against any of those people. It just feels like I never thought that would be something that a sentence that came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But also the fact that she's like into Survivor, but has not mentioned it at all, not
Yeah.
even on social media.
I think there's a world where they thought they got Billie Eilish's phone number and texted her like other things, and just some random person was just like, I can do this," and
A
just
manager,
yeah, and just decided it for her.
yeah. Um, yeah, because like throughout the years, there have been plenty of celebrities that have mentioned that they're big Survivor fans. Tyler Perry was, I would say, was like the first one that I knew of that was like a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Joe is literally going to be on like one of the next things that Tyler Perry's doing. So
yeah, so it's and there's always you know like there's people, Jenna Fisher, who I believe Jeff Probst married her, or not married her, but like was the minister at the wedding.
yeah, I was gonna say breaking news.
Surprise, but no. And I mean, we did a whole brain steal about celebrities that were like fans of
Yeah, Neil
Survivor,
Patrick
but
Harris also. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot.
famously, yes. Um, but yeah, Esteban Deck,
Yep, exactly. Um,
Ryan Neo Wayne. Uh,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
all right, I'm just gonna stop there.
But not even gonna say
Save the
me.
best for
Okay,
last.
yeah,
But no, this is but I think the thing is like it's interesting because we had two like IRL celebrities come in, and
Mhm.
then there are two like people where they didn't make it to the island. It's like, yeah, I just kind of slapped my name on this.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to tell how much involvement you have when you're literally just a faceless celebrity.
Well, I mean, Jeff did say that Jimmy Fallon suggested that idea specific.
Yeah, well, I remember the interview with Jimmy Fallon and Jeff Probst when they had kind of been like, what if you played Survivor? And then obviously the audience got really excited because like,
Yeah,
yeah, and of course your fucking studio audience that's going to be happy about anything that's the host says. Um,
yeah,
so Jeff was like 90% of the people before that. I mean, I'm sure it would have been still a positive number, but I think 90% is not really a proper number who would have said I'm down for Jeff to be a contestant.
yeah. But yeah, so overall, it sucks that he went home, but he went home in an iconic way. Like Christian
By voting
was an
himself out.
icon. Yeah, but like because no one has ever done that. We've all joked about people getting themselves voted themselves out by voting wrong and stuff, which is not technically voting yourself. This is technically voting yourself out. Um,
This was
but
Lindsay from Total Drum Island when she when just
yes,
does
but
that.
total. Well, no, that wasn't even the first time.
Yeah, yeah.
She closed her eyes and pressed the button on her little voting gadget.
Yeah, exactly. So, Christian, you were just like Lindsay from Total Drum Island now. I hope that makes him feel very good.
Yeah, he'd be like, his kid will want to watch Total Drum Island, and then that
Yeah.
scene comes off. He hasn't watched the show before. He's just having fun with his kid, and that happens, and then his kid goes like, "Dad, why did you get quiet?"
It's the
Oh, just
trauma.
good old fashioned PTSD.
Yeah. Uh, it's just it's so sad to see Christian go out like this. I mean, he was
Yeah,
playing such a good game. Obviously, we kind of knew that he was going to be painting a huge target on himself the way he was playing. But it just kind of sucks that it's a little muddied with this twist.
we knew it was going to be a tough battle for him because like everyone wants to play with Christian, but also they realize Christian's a big threat to
Yeah,
win the game.
yeah.
So like we knew that it wasn't going to be an easy road for him.
Mhm.
Though I will admit, and I think you may attest to this too, it did look like he had a bit of a winner's edit in the beginning, pooping his pants
Yeah,
aside.
yeah. I mean, I have a friend who thought that the pooping in his pants was like his winner story. Like they
I
wouldn't
mean,
put that in if he's not winning, right? It's
no,
but
but yeah,
yeah, he was obviously like the main character of the pre-merge. Um, he kind of fell a little bit to the side once the merge kind of started happening. He was like kind of a secondary, tertiary kind of character. Um, but it still felt like he was, front and center, making most of the plays in probably one of like the fan favorites alliances
yeah.
with him, Devins and Emily. Um, so yeah, it's just a bummer to see him go like this.
And he went at 11th place on a big season. I can relate to that. It's
Mhm.
it's like he's a kindred soul.
Yeah, yeah. I wish we got another episode of him.
Yeah.
Um,
Or a
oh,
proper goodbye bromance
yeah,
moment between Devins and Christian.
yeah. I'm curious to see when someone does take over him in confessionals because, by the way, he got a lot of confessionals this episode.
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen with Ozzy, I feel. But, like if we don't have anything else to say about the episode itself, I feel like yeah, we can transition into the confessional count
Okay.
because we value screen time on this channel.
Yes, yes. So in this episode, Christian, by the way, got 18 confessionals. More
Jesus
confessionals
Christ.
than Tiffany has all season. Um,
I mean, I understand why he got a lot, but I'm like 18, I'm like
Routine.
this far into the game too for still an hour and 30-minute episode,
Yes,
like
yeah.
well, an hour, but yeah.
So yeah, he's now at 63 confessionals. That's his cap now. So we'll kind of maybe keep a track, see when that does get taken. I think, I mean, if Oz goes out in like one of the next two episodes, that might not even happen where it surpasses, and we're looking at like a finale situation with Christian still having the most.
I mean, it's possible, but
Yeah,
you have the numbers in front of you.
yeah. So yeah, Ozzy is now pretty far and away the confessional leader on the season at 53. So 10 confessionals lower than Christian. Um, Second place, we have Rick Devens at 36.
Congratulations, he passed the Banu bar.
Yeah, he's past the Bonnie bar. Congratulations, Devens. Um, and then we have a tie here at 32 confessionals between Suri and the Riz God.
Nice. Very
Um,
nice.
and then we have 30 confessionals from Jonathan.
This was a big episode for him
He
too.
he got 9 confessionals this episode, so it
Yeah,
was
I was
a
about to say, because like he was way lower on the list last time.
yeah, so it was a pretty big spike there. Next up, we got Emily at 29 confessionals.
All right.
So just a little lower than Jonathan. And then it looks like the next we got a tie here between Aubrey and Stephanie at 24 confessionals.
Still on the lower side, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then next up we got Joe at 20 confessionals.
This was also a somewhat positive episode for him. I do want to mention that.
Yeah, I mean it was fine. I just know
I said somewhat. I
yeah,
wasn't being like,
yeah. And then yeah, last is Tiffany at 16 confessionals.
damn.
She had 3 good episodes in a row where she was getting some content, and then this episode yet again kind of dropped her. Like we saw from confessional wise, it dropped her because she only got one. Um, we mostly saw her with like her and Suri and kind of being in a good spot, but no real confessionals were happening too much from that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it is sad. See, yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it because she's entertaining. They even proved it in this season. She's
Yeah.
entertaining. But yeah, if uh if you want to trade her for Ozzy or
No, what are
maybe
you
some,
talking about? Tiffany is
they
is
might
is
surprise.
the lowest chance of winning the season out of everyone.
High risk, high reward. Where's that
No,
chaos
there's
gremlin
there's
inside of
no
you?
there's no no. It's all risk and all no reward. But
Well, wouldn't it be flashy AF if he
I
did?
know it's not
What?
true. It's just not going to happen.
All right. WWRDD. What would Rick Devens do?
And he would say, "Take my idol and run," and I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna be good.
Uh, I will take your bottom three,
No, we're
and in
not. We're
return,
not. I'm not giving you
I will
anything.
not say 6, 7 on this channel.
See, you. This is how you know that Ryan knows that his draft is fucked up.
Yeah, it's bargaining. That's one of the stages of
Yeah,
grief.
yeah. I mean, we are now at final 10 here, and I've got 7. You've got 3.
Motherfucker doesn't even have the audacity to say several.
Nope. Nope, not anymore. It's 7, and you got 3. Your only hope is Rizgod. Because
Which
you got
I
Tiffany
know
and Stephanie, and
cheerleader.
they're not winning. So
I know I've been a big cheerleader of Riz God, but it's like, well, he's getting content, but he hasn't been consistently getting good content.
mhm.
Like, it's not like we get a whole lot of bad content, other than in the beginning they called him lazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think he is playing a good game. Like
He's playing pretty solid.
I think he is very well positioned. I think he's likely to go pretty deep in the game, honestly. Um,
Agreed.
it's
And
it's
also, like,
it's just winning
fr
is the tough part.
from a fan's standpoint, like, I know I mentioned earlier in this episode, it was like, oh, like, if if Sari's on your season, it's like you almost want to play with Sari because it's like you get the opportunity to play with Sari. He gets to genuinely work with Sari and Ozzy, which are like two giant names in Survivor. And it's like
Mhm,
he is just like the new kid on the block. Like they don't even know him yet. He's not like he hasn't had that like taste of fame
mhm.
yet.
Yeah, they never met at a after party or watching some other season kind of Bryce and Wen event or any of that kind of stuff. Um,
Exactly.
so but obviously, I mean, there is a commodity in being that person with certain people because it's going to feel like, oh, this person's always going to kind of be an open vote because they don't have those pre-existing relationships. Which serves
Yeah.
him good in the middle. It really just comes down to like people actually voting for him in the end. That's the tough part for him.
Yeah. All right. So MVP and LVP. MVP MVP, it's tough. I might either give it, I think I might give it to Sari just because I think just consistently her game has just been super strong. Maybe I might change it to Jonathan because I
Mhm.
feel like more things kind of align for him this. I'm going to say we gave it to Sari last week. I'll say Jonathan this week.
I'm gonna do maybe a bit of an oddball pick here, but I am going to
Jeff.
go. No, I would not give Jeff or Jimmy Fallon this MVP. I am going to give the MVP here to Aubrey because I think she saw the writing on the wall that someone of that group was going, and she jumped shipped very quickly, and therefore was never going to be the option from any person basically in this game.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
LVP, I have to give it to Emily.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they were seriously considering taking her out when she had two people in her alliance that were way bigger threats, but she kept irritating people, like Suri about the rice. And then she was like, you know what? Let's get rid of Ozzy before tribal council to Suri. Uh, so I think goose is going to get cooked, if not next episode, shortly.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I do think Jimmy Fallon is a pretty good option here for LVP.
He's gonna get so much hate.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, but I think if we're talking players, yeah, Emily is the one. It was unnecessary for her to also throw Ozzy under the bus to Suri, so it was uh honestly that whole side's downfall was assuming that Ozzy and Suri were not as close as they actually are.
Honestly, it didn't even make sense because it's like he has an idol. If
Yeah.
he's if you guys are making decent headway with it and he feels unsafe, he will play the idol, and then one of you end up going home anyway.
Yeah, it should have been on Jonathan. I think that would have been a smarter move. Take out someone who could win challenges, and also on that side, from their perspective, that would have been
Yeah,
a
yeah,
better move. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
but
Yeah.
is indeed.
Well, what a mixed bag season 50 is so far. It's got
It has
positives,
been.
but it also I feel like always has like a little bit of like I don't love what's happening there.
It could be a season that gets more love on a rewatch because like sometimes when things are introduced to us, and especially if it takes out someone that we enjoy, it kind of dampens it in the first initial viewing experience, or if things are a little bit too off. I'm not like defending it. I'm just saying like if I were to say like me enjoying this season more, it could be something that I may enjoy more when I rewatch it. Another thing could be whoever wins this game,
Mhm.
because sometimes the winner will help boost up a season, or whoever wins may lower what you think of the season.
Yeah, that's why people don't like 43 because they do not like Mike Gabler, even though it's actually a very entertaining season.
Yeah, there's that, or Guatemala, or like
Yeah,
I don't know how many. I don't know. I know that I really wanted Stephanie to win and had a growing disdain for Danny Boatwright as a resort.
but
But
I was so happy to see Danny Boatwright win, deserving winner, one of the best of all time.
you're you don't believe this. You just want to piss me off.
No, I would never do that. I would never try to piss you off, and I would never lie.
Joe, I try and piss you off on here all the time, and you know you lie.
I've never lied a single time. I'm freaking George Washington.
He was a president, of course he lied.
No. He was the first president. He was supposedly one of the good ones. Supposedly, I gotta say supposedly.
All right, well, for throwing the supposedly around, I'll bite. I'll bite. Also, Ryan's tired.
Yeah,
I'm, but yeah, uh, that's it for this episode. I am cautiously optimistic about next episode. Whatever Mr. Donaldson is going to introduce into the game, we'll see what that is. But they have introduced it for quite some time, and that was like
yeah,
we'll finally get the whatever payoff that is.
yeah,
And then also, it does seem like next episode is going to be very, very dynamic because like they're throwing everyone's name out basically.
yeah. And Mr. B says that he thinks this episode is amazing.
Well, I mean, the response when people hated Zach Brown's
Yeah,
episode,
yeah,
he was like, God, I really hope that they like ours because it was one of my favorite pieces of content I've ever done. So
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna see. I mean, already a little scared with how some of these twists have been shaken out. So I'm hoping for the best. But
it's a super beware.
yeah, yeah. It could,
You know, like
whoever does it could be safe. Like maybe it works out
it,
for them.
it is true. It is very true. However, Murphy's Law. And this is a season where twists don't necessarily work out for people.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pray to God that it works out because I don't want to see someone get self-eliminated. That is
Not
not.
just him, whoever's going to listen up there. Or
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, we will see you all in the next one.
peace.